mother?
Well, you can talk about your mother. You can tell us how you got your name. You can tell us about all kinds of things. Just, you've always got a story to share with me. That's all I'm doing.
Well, 6 miles out of Arkansas City, Kansas, Daddy had a little dairy farm where I was born. And when I was born, she wanted to call me Betty Ruth. Her middle name was Ruth, Effie Ruth.
Wasn't she naming you after one of your aunts, or was that when she decided to?
And
I'm sorry.
Daddy went to town to name me Betty Ruth. And as he was leaving the house, Aunt Gladys Ruby walked in and said, "Effie, I thought you were going to name this baby after me. You named Nikki after Evie Marie. Her name was Wanner Marie. And you named Bonnie Rose after Rose, their oldest sister, our Aunt Rose. And this baby was supposed to be named after me." So they caught Daddy just before he was he was at the registration office. And somebody ran down and he had Betty Ruth down. That's what Mama named me, Betty Ruth. Because she had always wanted one of the girls to have Ruth as a name. That was Effie Ruth. Her name was Effie Ruth.
I guess Ruby Ruth wouldn't have sounded too good.
And Gladys was Gladys Ruby. And Aunt Gladys said, "You told me you'd name this baby after me." So that's when she decided on Ruby. I don't know where the Ray came from, but it went with it. Ruby Ray Rader.
A triple alliterative name.
It what?
Triple alliterative. All three names start with
So that's how the confusion was and how Betty Ruth got put on my birth certificate. And then when I was married to Rod, he was a military man, and
Air Force
had strict red tape rules, and he was one for red tape rules. And because of my name was all screwed up at Topeka, Kansas, he went to the trouble to have everything corrected on my birth certificate. So instead of having Betty Ruth on my birth certificate, it was changed to Ruby Ray in 1972 or 3 when we were married, when Rod and I were married.